Good morning, everyone. Come on and join me here. I'm ready to rock and roll. Good morning, everyone, and welcome this morning to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada, where it is our mission to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy. In case you didn't know, my name is Xiomara Rodriguez. My pronouns are she, her, and ella. And I'm so honored to today be your worship associate. Having problems pronouncing today. We need to remember that we are meeting in the ancestral lands of the Paiute, Shoshone, and Washoe tribes, and must be mindful of our profound debt to our indigenous people of these lands. Ralph Waldo Emerson best said that for each new morning with its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food, for love and friendship, for everything that God has sent, we are grateful and thankful. Thank you for being here today. We welcome you, no matter where you are today, if inside of the sanctuary or on the airways of Zoom. Hi, Zoom, wherever, hi. You are very welcome here. We welcome you regardless of racial identity, age, economic circumstances, immigration status, sexual orientation, or gender ID. We welcome you here, and we are so glad that you're here. If this is your first time or 100th time, we are glad you're here. We ask that all of you respect the wishes of our fellow congregant to continue distance practice, open communication with each other, and intentional about honoring personal boundaries. For those of you on Zoom, you will remain silent during the service, but you could put your comments on the chat box. And also, stay on following the service for coffee time. It's really cool. So no matter where you are today, sit back, enjoy our service. We come here to voice our truth. Welcome. And now it's time for us to greet one another in whichever way it's better for you. A wave, elbow bump, a fist bump, a hug, a kiss. And the people on Zoom, you are very welcome to put in the chat box your welcomes and greetings. I'll sing the bowl when we're ready.
Everybody, is that you, Mary? Are you our host today?
Hi, Michelle. Yes, I am.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for when you do it.
My pleasure.
Anybody that wants to can unmute themselves for the greeting period. So we've started doing this a few weeks ago. So if there's anybody that would like to unmute themselves and say something, feel free.
I love that you're doing that now.
I think it was our new minister's suggestion.
Love it.
I think, Michelle, you're the only one that's unmuted.
I think you're right. I'm wondering if maybe some people don't know how to unmute.
Hi
And if-
guys.
Oh, there's another one.
I think we know how. We just are busy or don't have anything to say.
Hello is good.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Penelope?
Oh, I'm fine. Fine. Keeping busy. Going away to UU camp this weekend, so getting ready, packing and all. Anyhow, goodbye.
Yeah, I think it's time to be quiet again.
So I have a couple of announcements for you that are quite important. If this is your first time with us, you can learn more about connecting with the UUFNN here. And you could also fill out a form that you could find either in the back of the seat or online. So you could get our newsletter. It's really important because you get everything in the newsletter. You know what's happening, everything is happening. So please make sure you let us know. If you need help with Zoom or other support, you know of someone who does, or anyone who's feeling isolated, who may need connection, contact Carol at office@uufnn.org. Meanwhile, those of you in Zoom can stay online, like I said before, for coffee hour after the meeting. If you're here, you could go to the gathering room out there and have some coffee and have some fun with everybody. I need Adrian. Where is she? Lost her. I'm ready for you.
Good morning. I'm Adrienne Fisher. Hi, Zoom. Board member, past president, yes. And I'm here to talk with you this morning about a wonderful tradition we have here at UUFNN called the Ribbon of Joy. And if you notice over on the glass window, there is a physical ribbon of joy that Lois put up for us today. And Dave, because he's taller. And here's what you need to know. In the past, some of you have been here and you know what Ribbon of Joy is. So let me break it down real quick in case you've forgotten. We support Women and Children's Center of the Sierras, which is a not-for-profit located on Neal Road, our neighbors. And they support moms and dads and children at the holidays to make sure that they have all of the things they need to have a lovely holiday like all of us have. And the way that we do that is that we buy gifts for the WACs, Women and Children Center of the Sierras, and they disperse them to the families. They choose families that they know have the greatest need. So the families that we are supporting are truly the ones that need what we have to share. And it's a good chance for us to put our principles into action. Our first principle, the inherent worth and dignity of all people, and our second, justice, equity, and compassion in all of our human relations. And I think even our sixth principle, the one about supporting world community. And this is our community. So the papers over there have all of the directions. If you take a paper from the Ribbon of Joy, it's yours. But then you go on signup.com, as it's all very high tech, and you choose a gift or gifts. We have 65 gifts available. We need to purchase all of them in a short amount of time. So you have until December 12th and 13th, which is when the drop-offs at WACs will be. There is also an email address, joy@uufnn.org, that you can email if you want to participate, but you're confused or you need help. One of us will get back to you ASAP and support you in supporting WACs, supporting our families who live in our neighborhood. Okay? So we'll do a little yay sales pitch every week between now and then, just to remind you. And it's really a fun thing to go out and purchase for the moms, for the kids. And if you're not able to purchase, then we can do it for you, but the ribbon of joy can bring a little joy to your heart. So if you need us, Lois and I are here. And if you don't need us, we'll see all of your names on signup.com. Thank you.
And before I bring Mr. Phillip up, I want to remind you of our joys and sorrows. And back there, the little papers in blue, that you could put a little note to let us know so we could read them during the service. I know we have the candles and the water, but it's always good to read them. If you're on Zoom, let us know, please. Be here. Just send us a little message and we will mention you, okay? Now, Mr. Phillip, your turn.
Good morning. Several weeks ago, Reverend Shelley sent an email to a group of us recognizing the amount of things going on in the world that are causing hurt and pain and requiring each of us to do extra work to process that information every day. She invited us to do what's called an active hope worship. What we're going to do, for those of you who attended our workshop this year, you know that there are 4 basic steps for active hope. One is to start with gratitude. The next is to acknowledge our pain. The third is to see with new eyes. And last is to go forth. As we started to prepare for this service, we recognized that much of what we do each Sunday here together is what Active Hope encourages us to do on our own. So Nathan Bakken, Michelle Hamilton, Brian Thornton, and myself will be here next week to talk about how to use those practices so that every day as the news hits, you might be able to better ground yourself and keep yourself grounded while you're processing what that means for you. So I look very much forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. Lots of good things going on here. Good morning. I'm the Reverend Shelley Thompson, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm the interim minister here at UUFNN. And it is my great fortune to be here with all of you. I hope you all found ways to enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday, whether that was with family or friends or taking a nice rest. We find ourselves on the cusp of December. We could feel that in the air this morning. Just enjoying the last of maybe not quite too cold yet, the last days of autumn. The days are getting shorter. The trees have let go of most of their leaves, and we're getting ready to enter the darker and quieter time of year, the time of winter, of reflection and of waiting. The spiral dance of the season, always returning, never the same, ever moving forward through space and time, consoles us and counsels us with its time-honored wisdom. Change is constant, and the world keeps turning. This morning, I prepared our chalice lighting, one of our UU perennial favorites, Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. And wouldn't you know, an entire flock of geese went right over my car this morning on my way over here. I'm like, yeah, they knew. They were giving us their approval. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, The world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing We Gather Together. We now invite all of our children to go with Elise and Izzy to have some story time and do their own gratitude tree the way some of us did last week. And we're going to sing the children out with our beautiful James Reeb song. Now is the time and space that we set aside and create together to honor the joys and sorrows of life. We have 3 candles, and we light one for all the joys, the celebrations, the good news, the exciting things in our lives that are so important we want to share them. And we light a candle for the sorrows, the worries, the concerns, the things that keep us up at night, that are just too important not to share with one another. And we light a global candle because we know it's the same for people everywhere. The joys and the sorrows of life affect us all, and our hearts go out to celebrate with those who rejoice, and in an effort to send our love and compassion to comfort those who are hurting in this often broken world. And at this time, you are invited to come forward and light a candle, starting at the back and moving forward so we don't burn people. And you can always use one candle to light another. And you're also welcome to add a pebble to our communal bowl. Things that are heavy that you want help carrying can go right here in this bowl. And we will sing filled with loving kindness as we share this sacred time of holding and loving one another. We're sending love and light to Elke, who passed last week, and to nephew Jamie Gormley, age 37, who's struggling with mental illness. And Little Bit, a kitty cat, dear beloved, is under the law of divine protection at all times. May it be so. Change, change, change. If you're like most people, the word change evokes many feelings all at once, feelings that often contradict one another. For instance, excitement and curiosity and hope might be juxtaposed with anxiety, with fear, or even dread. It's complicated, right? Because humans, we're complicated. From the minor to the major, just about any change can necessitate a time of reflection and regrouping, slowing down, paying attention. And it has to be said that sometimes we want to change and we really don't want to change. We resist, and we have compelling pros and cons that are pulling us in both directions, tug of war. In their book, Immunity to Change, Robert Keegan and Lisa Lasko-Leahy, they talk about the process of adaptive change, the big major changes, and they call those persuasive pros and cons competing commitments. Competing commitments, it's a real thing. Things that protect us and things that stretch us. Safety versus growth. Certainty versus the unknown, predictability versus excitement, comfort versus discomfort. Anyone who has ever tried to keep a New Year's resolution has battled these competing commitments. We really like the old way. I love ice cream, but I want to eat healthy. But I wish ice cream was healthy. That would solve my problem. But no, it competes. And so I never really succeeded going all the way to the other side of super healthy all the time. I love my food too much. So those competing commitments can be a challenge for us. They're important to recognize that when we say we want to change, we're encouraged by change, we need to give ourselves full permission to also really not like it at all. So dealing with this inner struggle, it takes time. It isn't the technical fix of changing a light bulb. It's an adaptive transition. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of patience to navigate. We talked last week about the skills of grateful living, the habits of mind that can give us inner peace no matter what we're facing. Next week, we're going to be talking about active hope and those wonderful skills and practices that can build our resilience. We just don't believe there's any such thing as too many good skills. And today, we're talking about some more. We're navigating the rapids out of the pandemic, through the conclusion of Reverend Karen's ministry with you, into transitional ministry with me, towards the arrival of a new settled minister to shape your future ministry. This is really big stuff. And a large part of the work that is transitional ministry is paying attention to what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it, and how we're responding to these adaptive challenges. This, of course, is in addition to carrying on with all the things that are necessary and beneficial for running our day-to-day lives in the congregation. Thankfully, some of what transition entails is changing light bulbs, or installing fire alarms, or fixing the HVAC system so we have heating and air conditioning. We're also trying some new things. We're learning to see what we can learn that will be more inclusive and exciting and fun to do together, while we still hold on to and preserve all of our great traditions. Tending to the institution itself, making sure that the lights stay on. These are technical fixes. We need to update our records, look at our policies and procedures. The board's very busy with all of these things. And very exciting news, we now have a transitions team. I see Billy Lee and Terry, and I saw Kathleen. Where are you? Stand up. These are our transitions team people. And there she is. And we're just missing Lib Hutchison today. But these good people are going to be guiding this change process, offering all of you tons of opportunities to participate. Listening sessions, topic-based discussions. We absolutely want each and every one of you to share in this process, because that's how we know we can say with confidence, here's what this congregation is about. Here's what's going on. Here's what's important. And so it's exciting news. We're meeting again next Tuesday, and soon there'll be a list and a schedule coming out of all these invitations for you to participate in this fantastic process of change. So those are some of the things that we'll be up to over the next while here. Go team. But there's also this deeper dimension to transitional ministry. It calls us inward and asks us to be present and aware of our emotional, psychological, and spiritual journey during this time of liminality, renewal, and discovery. As a congregation, this includes the journey that each and every one of us is traveling on our own as well. With our candles and stones, we know everyone here has a story. Everyone here is bringing a full, complete life with them into this shared space. And we share those stories with one another. And then we add what's going on the world over, which these days, it seems the world is either on fire or under fire a lot of the time. It's a lot. We are going to need our adaptive skills to make it through this. And in her book, Trusting Change, UU Minister Reverend Karen Herring offers us a guide for navigating this crucial human process of major adaptive change. She calls it thresholding. Thresholds, doorways, passages. When you spend a lot of time in one like we're doing, we have 2 years worth of this, it becomes a verb. We're thresholding. That's what we're doing. And she identifies, of course, we start here, now. We always start here, now. And she invites us to consider 3 phases of this journey: the no longer, the transformative pause, and then the deliberate move toward the not yet, All of those are there in this threshold, this in between, the no longer, the pause, and the not yet. Each have their own challenges and their own gifts. We need the time and space to sort it out and live our way into the future by staying present with reality as it is in the here and now. And for this purpose, Herring details what she calls threshold skills. They help us work through the phases in a healthy way, supporting one another and really taking the time to accept all that's going on. It's not about willpower forcing our way through. Nobody has bootstraps. No, we're going to be real and human and honest with one another about the whole shebang. We really want to share this time together. And what's going on with each of you, the people, and our process together, that's what's most important. It's about us. She tells us the no longer requires 3 such threshold skills that won't surprise any of you. There's letting go, grieving, and practicing equanimity. Letting go of what was, both things that we didn't want to let go of, some things that we did. Grieving what we miss, what we've lost. And practicing equanimity about the possibilities of change, at least being curious and open about what happens next. Herring calls this the we'll see approach, rather than, oh no, it's going to be awful. Now, we'll see. She tells us it equips us to move forward because when the future is not already decided, it can still be influenced by our own responses in the present. So for UUFNN, the no longer is about having lived through the pandemic, saying goodbye to Reverend Karen. There's grief and loss from missing her and how things used to be. And then you've chosen interim ministry, brave choice, bold people, to take advantage of this breathing room to adjust, to take care of all the technical things, to reflect and adapt and consider what's next. Certainly not a linear process. It loops back on itself. None of those things are ever really done, per se. And one of the challenges, giving ourselves that permission to just let it be what it is. We'll see. Letting go, grieving, practicing our equanimity. Herring names 4 useful skills during the transformational pause. Taking part in stillness, navigating the unknown, preparing for the journey, and claiming companions. She explains taking part in stillness. To say that living on the threshold requires us to pause is not quite adequate. It requires reimagining what a transformative pause means. To pause is to wait or hesitate, to dwell or linger, which is precisely what all threshold skills come back to. Our ability to linger and dwell in between, to perch in the unknown long enough for entirely new possibilities to emerge. She says pausing in the in-between is about stopping, ceasing our efforts to control and determine future outcomes based on what we've known in the past and what we expected the future to be. Each a stoppage that's not final, but fertile, an opening towards something new, a participation in the mysteries of what might yet be, but is not now known. I think she's a poet as well as an author. It leads to her description of navigating the unknown. She says, the thresholding skill we find here is the skill of remaining in relationship with the unknown, greeting it, letting it change us instead of trying to change it. The skill is about naming our fears without getting attached to them, remembering that wherever fear is present, we also find an invitation to muster courage. That's good advice. She tells us that preparing for the journey means gathering our inner supplies, flexibility, curiosity, balance, a good sense of humor, all the things that will help us be resilient. You cannot overpack. Bring it, all of it. One of the most important things we do, especially in our faith community, is claiming companions. That's how we covenant with one another. We're claiming each other as companions on this journey and focusing on our right relationships and how we choose to be together. We're good at that, and she calls it turning toward community. It might be one of the things that UUs do best. We turn towards each other, we turn toward Reno and our wider community, and we turn to the world with that expectation that together we'll get through whatever comes our way. We go on. During the all-important not yet, we need to be skilled at 3 things, she says: moving on, imagining a way, and widening what we trust. Trust is perhaps one of the hardest parts here. She says the threshold skill of moving on requires breaking out of old habits and thinking and being and doing, particularly the habit of needing to know and control where we're going. Instead, we're asked to turn our attention to how we are going and how we might make room for unknowns by cultivating curiosity, increasing our capacity for dwelling within uncertainty. In simpler terms, go with the flow, collaborate with change. There's that curiosity again, that keeps coming up, doesn't it? It helps us deal with our fear and our worry. Hello, fear, I wonder what you're trying to tell me right now. Could it be that you need to sit down and color while we work? Quite possibly. Focusing on the process, looking to the quality time that we're spending together, helps ground us in the power and security of community to hold us and support us through growth and change. Herring explains imagining a way. I love this one. Especially when facing an unknown future, we need to access a larger body of knowledge, including our unconscious mind and the collective consciousness. She says, our imaginations, creativity, and dreams all extend our awareness to do just that. Imagine a way, stretching our spirits, building the world we dream about. Like Walt Disney said, we are Imagineers. Imagineers. Herring encourages us also to widen what we trust. In our thresholding, she tells us not only does our current identity include the years we've already lived through, it includes the future we're living toward. Just as the acorn carries within it all the potential, crown and roots and trunk of a large oak tree to come, so too our own future growth is folded within us. Being fully present in the moment, we can find strength in expanding our wholeness to include past and future, roots and crown, seed together in an ever-growing identity reaching toward the light. Beautiful. Expanding our wholeness. She encourages us too to open ourselves to trusting one another and stretching our trust across the gaps of difference and the new things that might come. We don't know how they're going to change us, but we want to trust that because we're doing it together, it's going to be all right. We're widening the circle. That's one of our campaigns in Unitarian Universalism right now, widening our circles of concern. Here at UUFNN, crafting the process for our own thresholding experiences, again, will involve a lot of opportunities for each and every one of you to be with us and share your thoughts and your experiences. Those listening circles like the board held the last couple of times, and all that the transitions team is going to get up to. We're going to keep you in the loop. We want you to keep us in the loop. It's going to be a really dynamic interchange, a creative interchange, as process theologian Henry Nelson Wyman calls it. It's good stuff. So we invite you to pay attention to your e-news and your calendar and to these announcements and really take advantage of this opportunity to be a part of this exciting adventure called thresholding. Stay tuned for that. So as final words of inspiration, I give you an excerpt from one of my favorite poets, John O'Donohue. He has a book called Blessing the Space Between Us, and this one is from Blessing for a New Beginning. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. Amen, and blessed be. And now we get to hear the choir sing Autumn.
And, sorry. This is a time in our service where we take an offering that would allow us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will support this self-supporting church and its many ministries. The gift of the congregation will be mostly gratefully received. For those of you physically here, on the sanctuary, they will be passing the basket. For those of you that are on Zoom, you can do the offering virtually by texting 73256, putting UUFNN in the message box, hit send, and then follow the instructions to provide your offering. If you can also mail a check to the office at 780 Del Monte Lane, Reno, Nevada, 89511, but the best and fastest way and cleanest way to donate is to sign up for automatic giving. Contact the office and Carol will send you the automatic draft form authorization, or you could pull it out of the webpage. Here in UUFNN, we also give folks the opportunity to share our generosity by sharing with a designated nonprofit organization. The shared play recipient for November is Amplify Life. The mission of Amplify Life is to improve the lives of teens and adults with disabilities of all kinds. They currently serve more than 260 individuals by providing assistance with activities of daily life learning, job skills, enhancing communication and socialization, participating in sport, fitness, and other recreation activities. Additional benefits to participate include programs in team building, active expression opportunities, becoming independent, and improving their self-images. Amplify Life also runs Camp Lots of Fun, an overnight experience held every summer, which gives adults with disability 5 nights sleeping in cabins, hiking, swimming, and enjoying a great outdoors. In addition, they offer respite for parents and caregivers for disabled individuals. So now, thank you for your generosity. Now let the offering begin. Now can we all bless our offerings, please, to the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. We dedicate ourselves, and these are our offerings. Thank you.
We extinguish our chalice today with one of my favorite readings by Reverend Joe Cherry. If we have any hope of transforming the world and changing ourselves, we must be bold enough to step into our discomfort, brave enough to be clumsy there, loving enough to forgive ourselves and others. May we, as a people of faith, be granted the strength to be so bold, so brave, and so loving. As we go from this place, may we be open to life, expecting to love, and prepared to serve. Please join in singing, "We Would Be One."
Sorry, please join us.
For joining us. Go out and be the change in the world. Thank you.